but a truth to be experienced. Such experience happens in deep inner silence, not in public proclamation. The contrast between aham, that is ahamkara, and aham is one. The ego bound I, that is ahamkara, says, I am a scholar. The self-realized I, Shuddha Aham, dissolves in these identities and merges with the infinite silently recognizing Aham Brahmasmi. For Mahaperiyava, Aham Brahmasmi is not spoken, it is lived. It is not claimed, it is revealed. It is not loud, it is silent. It is not the peak of pride. It is a total melting of pride into the ocean of supreme consciousness. Paramatma Chaitanya. Next. Universalism. Mahaperiyava on the universality of Vedanta and unity of faith. He was not only a traditionalist deeply rooted in Vedantic or Vedic Dharma, but also visionary spiritual teacher. He who saw beyond sectarian boundaries. He taught that the core of Vedanta, especially Advaita Vedanta, is universal because it speaks not only to Hindus but also to all beings who seek the highest truth. His message was deeply inclusive, rooted in oneness, Advaita, not exclusivism. He said again in Daivathan Kural, Vedantamnu சொல்றது ஒன்றுதான், உண்மை ஒன்றுதான், எல்லா ஜாதி மதங்களும் அதற்கு உள்ளேதான். That is, Vedanta says only one thing. Truth is one and all castes and religions are within that. He also remarked, சாட்சி ஒன்றுதான், வழி மட்டும்தான் வேறு. The witness is one, only the paths are different. And Mahaperiyava's life, a living symbol of unity he is. Though he is a Jagadguru, he was revered by people of all faiths because of his universal compassion, wisdom, and humility. His life embodied the Vedantic principles of Sarvam Brahmamayam. All is filled with divine. For him, real spirituality transcends religion and leads to the realization of the universal self that unites all beings. Next. Practical spirituality. He constantly insisted that Vedantic realization is not dry philosophical concept, nor a matter of scholarship or a debate. Rather, it is a practical living truth. A practical living truth. A transformation is how we perceive and relate to the world. How we relate to the world, the divine, and ourselves. This transformation is at the heart of what he calls practical spirituality. To realize Brahman is to transform 1. From ego to surrender. 2. From selfishness to selflessness. 3. From duality to unity. 4. From ritualism to inner purity. This inner change in attitude and awareness is the real realization. He explains that just knowing Aham Brahmasmi is not enough. It must reflect in your humility, compassion, and detachment. If one truly sees all as Brahman, then how can we hate the other person? Can we hate? No. How can the pride exist? Can it? No. How can we be greedy? Is it possible? No. ஸோ வேதாந்த அனுபவத்தை உண்மையாக புரிந்து கொள்பவனுக்கு அந்த அனுபவம் இருப்பதால் அவனால் மற்றொரு ஜீவனுக்கு துன்பம் செய்ய முடியாது. One who truly understands the Vedanta cannot harm ever being. Mahaperiyava, his own life was the best example of his teachings. He led an austere life but radiated the depth of Advaita. He never claimed to be a Brahman, yet saw everyone and everything as Brahman. He spoke to commoner, king, scholar and child, adapting Vedanta to their level. To him, Vedanta was not an escape from the world, but a way to see the world as Brahman and live accordingly. Next. From renunciation of the world to reuniciation of the world. Classical Vedanta often emphasized renouncing the world for the sake of liberation. Neo-Vedanta emphasized living in the world, performing selfless service while maintaining inner detachment and jnana. Mahaperiyava stated, வேலை செய்வதால் தப்பு இல்லை, நம் மனது பிரம்மத்தில் இருந்தால் போதும், வேலையும் யோகாதான். That is, there is nothing wrong in working. If the mind stays anchored in Brahman, then even the action becomes yoga. For the modern world, the path of engagement, it is not an escape. Neo-Vedanta was born in a context where India needed to be spiritually awakened but also socially uplifted. Thus, karma becomes a tool for seva, that is service, and national regeneration. Second one, jnana was no longer just abstract philosophy, but was also reflected in compassionate action. Mahaperiyava deeply resonated with this when he encouraged Vedic scholars to do community outsearch. The community outsearch is most important, he said. Ask the educated people to live dharmic life in the society, and taught that Vedanta is for every person, not just for sannyasis. In Neo-Vedanta, jnana and karma are no longer separate stages. They are two things of the same spiritual word. Karma refines the mind and offers a platform for selfless living, and jnana anchors one in the truth, turning every action into sacred expression. Next. Mahaperiyava often warned against the misuse or misunderstanding of Mahavakyas like Aham Brahmasmi by people who simply chant and declare them without inner transformation. So he said, before one can observe the truth of Aham Brahmasmi, the mind must be purified of desires, anger, greed, pride and jealousy. Without this purification, the mind remains restless, clouded and incapable of holding the reflection of Brahman. He compared the mind and mirror. He said, only a clear mirror can reflect the sun. Likewise, only a pure mind will reflect Brahman. For example, he has given an example of if a lotus is kept on a dry plank and someone pours little water, it gets wet, yes.